Hello everybody, thanks for joining me today. So today we're going to be taking a look at a really cool plugin that is brand new from Tonsturm, and this is it. This is Spectral EQ. Now, you might be thinking, oh, it's just another EQ plugin or another filtering plugin, kind of like Shade or something. But this plugin is really quite unique in that, as far as I can tell, it's some sort of spectral resynthesis engine actually, sort of under the hood, and then with the filtering going on the top. So what that means is that, similar to a additive synth or something, we can basically choose which parts of the spectrum to resynthesize. So rather than just cutting out bits of the spectrum we don't want, we can just not synthesize them in the first place. So you might be wondering, why is that useful? And the reason isn't completely straightforward, but it has a particularly interesting sound to it. So I will just play an example to start with so you can hear it. Okay, so that was it in context. The sound I'm talking about is this squelch sound. And squelches is something I found this is particularly good for. So if we just play this on its own. Really awesome sounding squelches that it's capable of. So let's take a look at how we can recreate this with our spectral EQ. So firstly, what I'm going to do is just create a new channel. I'm going to give it a nice long note. And I'm going to put Serum on it to start with. And you can use whatever synth you want. I'm just going to generate a saw. Okay. Alright, and now let's go and grab Spectral EQ even. Okay, cool. So this is the window that's going to pop up for you. So here we have kind of similar to like any normal EQ. So lower frequencies down here and higher frequencies up here. And we can draw what sort of filter shape we want. So let's just draw sort of triangles. And I found that if we make these kind of wider curves, we get a kind of more pleasant sound a lot of the time from this. If you make them really thin, sometimes it can kind of get a bit resonant and kind of hurt your ears a little bit. So do mind out for that. I've only just started using this today, and I think actually it only came out today, so apologies for the slow workflow with it. But yeah, let's just draw a couple of peaks. And yeah, maybe I'm just not going to worry too much about it. And so now we should just get some frequencies around 1800 Hertz and way up at like 13K. And also I'm going to set this up to 4096 FFT bands, because that's what makes it sound kind of the most smooth. Alright, so it's kind of cool. But what makes this thing really awesome is this little sort of lightning thing here. So from here, we can kind of manipulate what we've drawn. Move it around. You can kind of, what it calls stretching it. It's kind of like a sync operation almost. And then we've also got this shift where we can kind of move it around. So let's just have a little play with that so you can hear what it sounds like. So yeah, it sounds awesome. And if you've used something like Harmor, then you probably recognize this sound. It's the sound of like a additive filter. So there are a few other plugins just like this, but in the past, things like Spear and stuff like that, for some reason they just don't really sound that good, and it wouldn't be worth using, and you would just have to go and use Harmor or something like that if you wanted that sound, or like Razor or something. But now it's possible to take any sound and get that proper nice additive filter sound from this plugin. So we can add some modulators. So let's go LFO and let's assign it to this skew here. And let's just have it move the entire thing around, because why not? Let's have it go a little bit slower though. Maybe sort of a few bars. Maybe a bit faster now though. Okay, now let's get another modulator and let's chuck it on one of the other parameters. Let's try shift maybe, or let's try stretch even. So we're already getting a really, really cool effect from that. Let's also chuck this same LFO onto shift. Awesome. Right. Now, something to mention is this clean and response. I'm not 100% sure what the clean does. It seems to sort of smooth out the response and kind of slow it down. So I just leave that down at 0. I turn the response right up, and it seems to get the sort of most robust, most effective use of the filter out of it. So yeah, we'll go with that. And now let's leave the spectral EQ and pop back into Serum. And let's just use an LFO on the coarse pitch and have this go quite sort of aggressively. And let's see what happens. And let's maybe set this to like a triplet or something so that it is going out of time with the LFOs in spectral EQ. Maybe let's even have it go a bit slower as well. And some of the tones that come out of it are just awesome. I love it. So then, what I like to do, so far at least anyways, is chuck something to generate MIDI for us. So I've been using autoplay, of course, and I'll just set this up so that it's generating random velocity, random length, and what is really quite cool is if we set this up to play different octave as well. So it should just sort of generate random notes, and we should get sort of different squelches and stuff. So let's see what that sounds like. Pretty cool. So let's take this down an octave maybe, and give some release. Yeah, there's definitely no other filter plugin out there on the market that is going to give you this amazing sound. Okay, so, or well, that I'm aware of anyways. So, just to make this even cooler, let's group it, give an audio channel just beneath it, and on the group, I'm just going to chuck some ping pong delay, because it's not side trance without ping pong delay. And let's see what we've got. Awesome. Okay, so very quickly, let's just give a little bit of EQ. And then with these sort of spectral synthesis type things, I almost always find that it just needs a bit of distortion. Otherwise it kind of gets a bit sort of graty on the ear. So yeah, I'll just have a bit of tube. It's fairly soft tube saturation. And difference is subtle, but it kind of just softens it a little bit if you like. I quite like that. And now what you can do is we can set up this audio channel we made to record our squelch. And then we can just sort of go through here and chop out the bits that we like. The other reason that it might be worth recording it is that the spectral EQ does have quite a bit of latency, and depending on which DAW you're in, that might become a bit of a sort of issue for you. So, but we can fix that in the timeline. That all looks on time now to me. And let's see what that sounds like with some kick and bass. Certainly needs a bit of refining, chopping up and stuff, but you can probably tell that this is a very, very capable filter plugin. We can also get those kind of glassy type filters, and basically anything that you would usually do in Harmor or something like that, you can do here with spectral EQ. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and do go and trial this spectral EQ. It's on sale at the moment, as it has just come out. It isn't the cheapest plugin, but I will most certainly be buying it at the end of my trial period. It is awesome. Right. See you next time, guys.